What's up guys, and welcome back to another replay cast. Today we're doing something just a little bit special. We have Bisu versus Flash. This is the grand final of the Sino-Korean Carnival. So this is game one of a best of five. And this is widely regarded as one of the best Protoss vs Terran series ever played. It was played in 2016. Bisu and Flash were very much at the peak of their powers at that point. And I'm expecting this to be absolutely epic. So it's actually being played on a modified name but the same map. So they're calling it the Soul of the Fighter, which I think is probably just a more direct translation of Fighting Spirit. It's definitely Fighting Spirit, like if you look at it, but you can see by the shape STL. I think it's probably been modified or just made a bit more grand for today's event. There's also a rolling website that's built into this replay's map settings, so that's a little bit fun and a little bit unusual. But anyway, we will bring you this game. This game has been cast before. I've seen it on Falcon's channel, so a number of years ago. So I've got no doubt that this has already been done, and there's therefore absolutely no problem in bringing you this best of five. So very recently, I completed the best Jaedong versus Flash series I could find, which was played back in 2010. And I thought to myself, while Flash is playing his final ASL, because I'm recording this on the 3rd of April, let me try and find some of the best series of him against some of the OGs. So Bisu and Jaedong obviously came to mind. And it's just, for me, I'm really hoping that he matches against one or maybe even both of these in ASL 21. So I might time when I release these videos based purely on what's happening in ASL alone. It's Easter weekend currently, so I'm planning to record a big batch. Nice quick timing there on the factory, by the way. A big batch of replays. So I think it's going to be really awesome to have the OG tribute at the same time that he's playing potentially his final ASL ever. So that's the idea here, guys. If you'd like to watch this series, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because that way you'll get the games. If you're watching this today, then my plan will probably be to release these on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday will be game 1, 2, and 3. And then games 4 and 5 will come out on Thursday and Friday. So we'll probably just break it up with one game in between. But pretty much you can guarantee that the entire series will come out in a week. Alrighty, so let's go, baby. Probe has been cleared off. And we are scouting around, looking at what Bisu is up to. Now, let's quickly think about what was the meta, the fashion, the car bubble at the time. Fighting Spirit back in 2016, Protoss vs Terran back in 2016. I'm pretty sure it was still just Arbiters was the go. Bisu is a pretty decent player with Arbiters, although we've seen the meta shift a lot. Nowadays, you see the double robo drop style being employed way more often. So it's going to be interesting to see some of those meta adjustments that come through. By the way, before I switched record, I had a look at Flash's load screen for his ASL 21 games. His win rate against Protoss is something like 80%, which is just unreal. And I have said, and I'm happy to stand by, that I still consider Protoss to be his biggest threat in ASL 21. So who knows? Maybe I am just an absolute numptus, which is very possible. But I've got a few more games of Flash against Snow that I'll bring to you. A few more games of Flash versus Rain, Flash versus Mini. So I'm trying to showcase today's Flash against good Protosses to see, well, maybe in the build to becoming good again, he starts to beat these guys, and he's now peaking when ASL 21 comes around. Who knows? Remember, I'm recording this on the 3rd of April, so I could be looking super genius or super foolish, depending on when I release this and when you guys are watching this. But anyway, it's all fun, and it's all part of the fun. So eBay coming up, siege mode, sieging up on the high ground as he lands his command center. Bisu is expanded. He is doing a Templar Archives sub 6 minutes. So this screams 2 base Arbiter. It's also getting the robo and a shuttle. So it could even be a DT drop. That's pretty cool. So a DT drop into third for Bisu. He's not getting zealot legs, so that does seem to be where this is going to go. So we're going to have to keep a weather eye on our scouting and our tracking. I didn't also, because I was waffling quite a bit, which I'm prone to do. I'm a very well-known waffler. I cannot see the cybernetic score, but it has to exist. Why can't I see the cybernetic score? Am I blind? No, no, no. Ah, it's there, behind the production panel. Okay. So I have not seen whether he's got range yet. I don't think he could have gotten range, Robo, and Templar Archives in this timing. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say he does not have range. And if you're Flash, that probably seems a little weird. Flash has preemptively gone and made an eBay and a couple of turrets. So I think he's actually in a pretty good position to block this. Here does come a probe. Trying to track the flight path of my shuttle. There it is. Couple of Dark Templars in there. We're going to try and see what the invisible men can do. Let's go. And the shuttle is spotted, so there is no mysteries here to be obtained. Bisu will certainly be flexing some APM here, no doubt. Oh, he's just waiting for this, bro. Like, here's my invitation. Hi, how are ya? Drops the DTs. Doesn't actually have... What is he building here? Doesn't actually have the turrets up yet. Making another command center sub 7 minutes, because this is Flash, of course. And this could be punished a little bit by Bisu. Does have this turret up here. And suddenly... Is he going to get this? He's definitely got a more damage with this drop than what I expected. Especially based on the fact that Flash scouted it. So, that is quite something. Shuttle is now gone. DT still clinging to his life. Just about. Couple of goons moving around. Stargate on the way, so this is going to be a pivot into Arbiters. Bisu has expanded to a third behind this harassment. Still does have his Observer. And one very, very lonely Dark Templar. It's going to add another factory. And he's getting a lot of damage with this. Scan now, sorry. Flash now finally getting some scanners. So he's had to cancel that, or he killed that. I'm going to go with cancel. He's going to get another SCV here. 7 kills with this DT. He's really gotten a lot done. That's the end of him, though. But that was good harassment, good damage. And we are now getting our Arbiter into the game. We're going to wall off here and transition into the mid game here on Fighting Spirit. So generally quite a good map for Arbiters because pretty much all your bases are on high ground. So that does give you a lot of recall opportunities and stuff like that. Nicely positioned Observer. Interestingly taken the middle of the map, just tracking the movement of the army with a lot of mines. Transfer to the third base. First Arbiter should be in the production tab. +1 is now on the way as well. Here's our Stargate and Arbiter is on the way. No spells for the Arbiters yet. We're actually just getting +1. I think our Zealots are still potentially slow. I think we're going to clear off some mines. Yeah, thinks better of that. Flash's Vulture and Harassment play always been a hallmark of his game. Bisu though has blocked this off quite nicely. Oopsie, switched with the wrong person's vision. My bad. We just about caught the back end of that scan. He was just confirming the third base location. We'll try our best to keep track of all of the scans through the game. Oh wow, you can get some observer comments. That's pretty fun. Okay, we're going to dive on here. Bisu seems to be quite keen to climb in here. I don't think it's the best time to engage. There's a lot of entrenched tanks. The onus is actually on BC to try and hold Flash's push. And Flash hasn't gone 2 base here, he's gone 3 base. And yet still manages to assert this level of ascendancy. Couple more Zealot bombs attempted. But Flash seems to want to try and pin Bisu down here. And if you're Protoss, this is absolute worst nightmare sort of scenario. You really don't want this. No upgrades at all yet. Another Zealot bomb attempted. Just clearing off. Oh no, he's going to lose 2 Dragoons to mines there. That's really sloppy. Looks like game 1 could be a quick one here, guys. Flash is right up in Bisu's grill. And this is going to be difficult to fend off. Don't think the counter is going to get much done. Just scanning where he's basically attacking here. Trying to see what's ahead. So the counterattack still seems to be the plan. Vulture's not getting into the house. You can see where he scanned right there to try and see the units now under cloak. Is this going to be the difference maker? I don't think so. Scanning again. Probes getting wrecked here. Mines detecting the zealots before they can get on top of anything. This is rough. This is really, really rough. I guess if he can take down the turret. It just seems to have endless scan, does Flash. Chasing down these zealots in tank mode with a bit of kiting. Bisu doesn't want to engage. It is with these Dragoons. Just keeping his Dragoons alive here. Possibly to just kind of intercept reinforcements. Just to slow the push. It's worked quite well. Flash now wants to try and wall in his 3rd. I think that is quite vulnerable to counterattack. Bisu has taken a 4th base behind this. I think he lost yet more units to mines. She won't be happy about. Now the tanks are being chased to pillar to post here. Look at the micro, guys. Look at this. Like, he's now going to trip mines here. Oh, oh. And that's the end of that. And this last zealot should die to tanks. Wow. Just non-stop action. It looks like BC is going to manage to stabilize, which is good. The Arbiter is also going to go do some Arbiter things. He's got energy. 150. I didn't see if he researched recall though. Let's see, baby. Here we go. Recall. Boom. Beautifully done. Right on top of the command center. SCVs need to flee. Flash is going to be taxed here to get on top of this. Does he get this command center? It is in the red. He seems to be wanting to try and target it down. And does pick off the command center. Very nicely done. You know, just a worker transfer happening behind this recall. Lots of scan needing to happen to try and tidy up the remnants of this army. But Flash will tidy it up decently enough. He needs science vessels and he is building one behind this. Okay, and the first vessel is introduced into the game. That will certainly just make the onerous nature of re-establishing his base much, much, much easier. Bisu now transferring even more workers to his 4th. And could well be preemptively setting up a 5th base as well. Looks like we're going to have quite a titanic PvT between these two today. No doubt about it. So Flash managing to re-establish here. Just scanning to see where his army is. And how much is there. Bisu posturing around. Expanding again. I think this is his win condition now. To try and take the base and go again. We have observer commentary built into the replays, unfortunately. It's kind of cool, actually. It's a bit of an interesting dynamic. Attack! It's a bit misleading though. I don't see any attacks. Just vultures probing around. Flash always busy with these vultures, trying to just find an opening, pick off probes, catch a probe transfer. Anything along those lines will add good value. He's going to clear these mines. Two 1 at the moment on the mech. It's like a flank of some kind. You're just going to attack right here? Are you serious? That just seems like a terrible idea. Just scans to see what he has close by. Bisu's army's kind of just posturing around the map continuously. Scans top left to see what the base that he has there. So Flash knows exactly where everything is. And he's kind of just got this wall, this patrolling science vessel to block recalls. And we can see Bisu moving around with 3 arbiters and a ground army for the shuttle. And this was the style back then. And Bisu was definitely one of the best exponents of this playstyle. No doubt about it. Just you saw the bottom of the scan there. He's just keeping an eye on Bisu's army movements all the time. Map control, I think, does give him an opportunity to expand again. And that's what we see here. This is so much map control. Mining a lot of money, so you can re-max pretty fast. We should see an explosion of gates here in the second main. Potentially looking to take this third main as well. Yep, so Bisu's going to take every main base and kind of contain Flash to a quadrant. And that's really going to force Flash to actually take the game to Bisu. We can see the armies moving around. I like this outside view of the game. 2-1 still. Seems to just want to jump on top of the unsieged tanks. And does hit a nice stasis here on the back line of tanks. A lot of vultures as well. But doesn't engage. I just don't know if there is a good engagement to be found here. Doesn't feel like there is. Scans his army. Sees the movement again. Tries to throw an irradiate. He missed. Oh man, that's so tilting. Not an irradiate, sorry, an EMP. Just to try and kill the energy on your arbiters. But it didn't work. Another base here. So with Bisu having all 3 mains, Flash is going to be forced to move out. He's not going to be able to just sit there and wait for Bisu to attack into him. I don't think that's going to be Bisu's style anyway here, to be honest. Oh, another recoiler, and this time got absolutely molly-ripped with mines. Jesus Christ. That was not what we would call profitable. The mine drag from heaven is happening here, though. We can hear it. But yeah, that was a total donk recall. We can kind of see why this style of playing recall has become obsolete nowadays, because Terrans just got very good at blocking it with mines and understanding where the vulnerable targets would be. And so Flash takes this as an invitation to move out. He's scanned to confirm where Bisu's army is. Big probe transfer could be caught here as well if Flash sniffs it out. This base also is very exposed, and I think that's probably what Flash might deny first and foremost. Although he seems to be getting right on top of everything here. A little bit of a disconnect between his vultures and his tanks, which does give Bisu an opportunity to pounce here. A little bit of a stasis on the mid line of the tanks. The second one here as well. So half of these tanks are certainly out of this fight. But the problem with stasis is it just freezes them temporarily. And if there's a decent back line of tanks here, which Flash still has that are active, it does next to nothing. Like, it's super overrated if you ask me. So Flash now is going to have his tanks unfrozen very soon. And that's going to force Bisu to try and defend here. And I don't think he's got a mobile enough army that can do anything. I really don't. So now starting to split off a little bit. I think he did hit the EMP that time. And so now Flash seems to be wanting to target critical sources of income for Bisu. This is definitely going to be one. And Bisu is going to have a tough time defending here. So a little split off pod of tanks over here harassing this base. And his main army is here. And yeah, good luck, man. As they say. I think the one challenge is evacuating to another war zone. Not good, Bisu. Oh no! Bro, massacre! Just these tanks here and the damage they've done, forcing the evac. But of course he's got all his workers here. And the unfrozen tanks are now moving to this part of the map because we've unfortunately missed the recall here. Didn't relay the mines, and I think the command center was actually lost, so that's going to force him to re-establish. Apologies, there was just so much happening on so many spots of the map that I missed the recall, but that's why he's had to pull that army back. These siege tanks are still having a very good time here. This unestablished spot is going to get harassed, and now the next area that Beast is going to have to defend is potentially bottom left. Loses the nexus here, so Flash is still a two-basing Flash. He has taken the third, the middle for his third base, and doesn't seem to be... Oh, there we go. So he's going to re-establish this. But the battle is on. Keeping most of his army in the middle of the map. Kind of trying to cut the map in two, which is definitely going to make life a bit more difficult for Bisu. So chooses to engage here. Just taking it on from the one side. No flanks or anything like that. Throws down another stasis. Which means he gets to kind of fight one half of the army at a time. But as I mentioned before, the longer the game goes on, we're fighting against 3-2 mech here. Stasis definitely becomes less impactful. So Flash continuing to split off his army and destroy and deny bases for Bisu. And Bisu's going to have a tough time purely with gateway units and Arbiter engaging effectively with Flash's army. Flash is going to literally have to run out of money for Bisu to be able to win this one. And he's got the 2 mining bases for now, which means he can keep reinforcing and trading, putting Bisu into quite the predicament. So there isn't quite enough here from Flash, so he's going to be able to fend this off and probably pull back to the middle. The one thing Bisu is going for him is you can see he's bringing in units for all 3 sides of the map because he's just got so many gateways. And that certainly will help. Not much of a bank though. So he is having to remax at the, or sort of the same rate at which he's losing all of his units. A couple of lost zealots there. Okay, so this has remained pretty much unharassed. This is up and running. This is going. It's not a lot of patches here though. So Flash is definitely on a clock. No doubt about it. Another recall here. Drops straight on top of the mines and loses pretty much everything. So that's what you call a rip call. It was pretty damn sad. Long distance mining here. Flash deciding to send a little hit squad to try and pressure the space. Bisu's army is entirely on the other side of the map. So he's not going to be able to do much about this at all, I don't think. And I think that trying to pressure here is potentially suicidal, but he's going to do it anyway, so let's go. Trying to maybe just get a lot of worker kills. It is kind of splash damage heaven here. But so many tanks, bro. Like, it's just a horrible, horrible engagement. Meanwhile, we're getting on top here. Just had to cut through a few cannons. So that base is going to be overs. And that's really a Flash base, right? If he can take this down and establish this, then I think the game is his. Bisu has to hold this base and has to keep Flash contained on the number of mining bases that he has currently. And that's just going to be hard. It's going to get a lot of probes here too. 25 minutes, good game. Indeed. Don't disagree. Freezes what's here, and he is actually going to hold this Nexus. So that is really nicely done by Bisu. Just scanning everywhere to figure out exactly how much he's got left. Does EMP again. Very nicely done by Flash. Wants to kill the remaining unfrozen units. So he's running out of money here. That's going to be the end of these tanks. Flash has got a 50 supply lead and has held this middle position. And I think when he consolidates and moves out with his maxed out army, he is going to pick this target here. And that is going to be another recall. Holy crap-a-noli. He's really had fun with it. This time he recalled here, knowing that there'd be less spider mines around. So this is a good distraction from Bisu, but I think that's all it's going to be. It's just a distraction. Flash once again seems keen on pressing this position, so he's going to probably tidy up the recall, no problem. So here we go again. Flash knows all he needs to do is to... Oh my god, he didn't clean this up yet. No, putting his attention here rather. Look at all the stasis. Gotta move around. And he recalls on top of it too. Oh my god, the mine drags! Oh, so many! Oh, this is like epic plus epic plus epic squared, man. It's awesome. What a game. So these goons have still not been tidied up. But Flash has decided, I don't think it's as important as killing this source of income. And he's managed to hold on to the vast majority of his army. So this is now been and gone. And I expect he's going to tidy up these goons that were left over, re-establish here, and carry on regardless, as they say. He could well also try and establish the space that he's just taken, which I think is what he'll do. And I think this forces the engagement from Bisu with the very little that he's got left. This deep line of tanks, though, is really not going to get much done here. Flash also able to send reinforcements. Can you imagine, hey? You're playing a best of 5, you're playing on stage in front of thousands of people watching you. And this game, I mean, Flash has won comprehensively. Like, it's quite daunting to be staring down the barrel of a sweep here. Really is. So I'm very much looking forward to how the series progresses to see what adjustments Bisu makes along the way. Scans just to confirm that this base is not mining. Always wants to know the number of mining bases, income streams of his opponent. And I think we're going to see potentially an expansion attempt from Flash as well. Or he's just going to take his pretty much close to maxed out army and push across the map and kill whatever he still needs to kill. He just kind of has to force a worthwhile engagement. The armies are kind of running past each other. But I think Bisu wants to take this engagement here and try and re-establish this bottom left base. Flash has got absolutely no interest in letting that happen, and I don't think he needs to worry too much. Bisu's army is now kind of trapped here. It's running up and down this corridor every time. You can see the scan there. So he's re-established his base. I think that's going to probably be now where Flash moves next. Especially if he's able to establish this. 30 minutes for a Dune for Ire! Indeed. posturing up and down. Probably just waiting to get himself. Here we go. I think Flash is going to engage. And then go after this top left position. Now the stasis comes down. Probably the theme of this game. Just stasis really didn't serve Bisu well at all. I don't know how many times he used scan in this game. Like, just crazy amount. Anyways, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed game 1. Can you just imagine the pressure after having such a comprehensive loss and you playing in a final against Flash? Well, we've got game 2 coming up tomorrow. So if you enjoyed this one, please do hit that like button, subscribe so that game 2 shows up in your recommended. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Take it easy. Bye for now.